Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, a family torn apart
My dad, he raped me.
by one daughter's shocking allegations.
My father videotaped the rape.
My dad did not rape my sister. My husband is not selling it on the internet.
I did realize that the cameras were there, and I did my research.
Why did she do that? Why me?
Now,
My aunt is extremely delusional. She is seeking $1 million from my parents so that she does not expose them.
No, that's not what happened at all.
You are not allowed to come up here and change your story.
Not one person corroborated one thing you said. Where is your proof?
I don't have a...
Don't you make all of these allegations and not bring me one shred of proof and expect me to believe you.
I just wanted to have a conversation about this morning and everything that's happening, but your dad is not here because he had a stroke.
I don't think he wanted to come and face it. Harvey Weinstein.
What do you mean by that?
Going to trial, you know, Harvey Weinstein's using a walker. It's kind of like they pull this card of sympathy.
And you think that's what your dad's doing today?
Yes.
Control him.
You're gonna get him walking out and just swinging to get in that audience shot, okay? How much time is this tape?
Hi, just quick update. I've just spoken to Heather and explained to her that her father Glenn can't make it today because he had a stroke.
Right.
What was interesting, her first response wasn't sympathy for him. She thinks he's doing this to be the sympathetic character and that he's hiding behind a stroke so that he can appear like the victim.
So she's thinking that he's trying to take the story away from her and turn it back on him because he's in a hospital bed?
Exactly.
This will be interesting.
Yes, it sure will. Thank you. See you in the control room.
All right.
You ready for Dr. Phil?
How did it 7, 6,
Roll down the shelves in my
5,
reverse.
4, 3, 2, 1.
45, take time, let's hit it.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Well, my guests today are an accomplished family of lawyers. Between them, they have 4 law degrees, 2 PhDs, and a published novel. But one member of this family is making spurious allegations that would make the toughest lawyers nervous. Claims of rape, a global conspiracy involving 24-hour secret camera surveillance, and over 30 years worth of pornographic images circulating on the dark web. Now, which member of this smart, affluent family is making the allegations? Well, her name is Heather. And here's what she has to say.
The rape occurred New Year's Day, 1988. I was 17 years old. My dad called me into the kitchen and told me to eat the cornflakes. And I believe those cornflakes were drugs. And then he blindfolded me and brought me into the bedroom, and he raped me. He told me, "Do you still think women are equal to men? Do you still think women are equal to men?" And I said, "Equal." My father videotaped the rape. That video was disseminated in the legal community. When I was 19, 2 friends of his convinced me to sign a contract allowing video surveillance in my home. The camera could see me naked, on and off for, the past 30 years. I've had video cameras in my house without my knowledge. In one of the apartments, I ended up going up into the attic and actually finding the cameras. When I realized there were cameras, I hung a giant tablecloth up there to create a canopy that would obstruct the view. Then I realized that there were 2 holes that were drilled into the ceiling. In a pinch, I used toothpaste and I just filled in the holes. 2010, my father's law practice burnt up. A thief took computers, hard drives. I think those hard drives contained porn of me taken by secret cameras. They may have wanted to sell it on the dark web. This was definitely an arson attack. I think that he was hired by my dad and my brother-in-law, Chris. Chris is a hustler. I believe that he has sold videos of my rape. I mean, I flipped my gourd. Who wouldn't? I thought that they were gonna earn millions of dollars. I thought the FBI had seized somebody's house because of it. I'm brilliant and talented. At the age of 17, I was accepted into a 6-year medical school program. I went to law school. I was number 5 in the class. With all this education, you'd think that I'd have it made. Actually, I'm living in a homeless shelter. I have been defamed, I've been professionally ruined. I believe I'm actually owed millions of dollars, and I don't feel like I'm greedy to request that. I feel that the court of public opinion and Dr. Phil is the only way that I'm going to get any kind of closure.
Now, Heather truly is a highly intelligent woman with a law degree, but she is making some very unsubstantiated claims her family vehemently denies. Now, before we meet Heather, let's briefly hear what her family has to say about the shocking allegations that she's making.
My dad did not rape my sister. My husband is not selling it on the internet.
I did not rape my daughter, and I most certainly didn't videotape it.
I do not believe that my grandfather raped my aunt. I do not believe my father ever attempted to sell, did sell anything, anywhere around selling a video of my aunt being raped.
It is all ludicrous, crazy delusions.
Well, Heather, you have a lot to say.
Yes, I have a lot to say. You know, I had memories come back to me about 4 years ago, and as a result, I've been in kind of a fight, flight, frozen pattern. And I think that happened because in 2014, I divorced, and my daughter had moved out of the house. So this was the first time I was alone with my thoughts. I didn't have any distractions.
Okay, so you're an attorney.
Right.
Have you tried many cases?
No, I was a legal aid attorney. And I
People
went
came
to
in
some
with disputes,
hearings.
though. They had disputes with
sure.
people. And if they wanted to prove up their side of the dispute, the first thing you always said was, all right, let's garner the evidence here. Show me what you have in terms of documents,
Right.
papers, witnesses, pictures, videos, evidence, whatever. Let's see what you have to support your claims.
Yes.
Using the Socratic method, let's just think that through. Where is your proof? Because you've been through 88 to 98, 08, 18, 31 years, 32 years that you've believed this. Somewhere in there, you have to have some support for the claims that you've made. And the claims that you've made are that you were raped by your father at 17, that the rape was secretly filmed by your father, that an unknown associate of your father posted these on the dark web, that your brother-in-law Chris sold the tape on the dark web, that your father tried to burn down the childhood home, that you were tricked at 19 into signing a hidden camera contract.
The contract was basically a guy that I knew wanted to marry me, but he might be going back to Desert Storm. Would you sign this contract for surveillance for your protection? I thought it was a military perk. That's what I thought it was. And then and this happened over a weekend. And then when he was bringing me back to my house, he told, and I saw this guy and my dad talking out on the front lawn. Okay. So I thought for sure he was asking for my dad's blessing.
Okay. Can I see a copy of the contract? Because as a lawyer, you would never sign a contract you didn't get a copy of.
I was 19, and on top of that, when the guy was taking me home, he all of a sudden got really snippy at something that I said, and I never heard from him again.
But let me ask you this. If the cameras are hidden and you're secretly being monitored, why have you signed a contract to permit it?
I think that back in 1991, it was a patriarchal concept that, oh, well, if she finds the cameras, we'll just show her that she signed this contract and she's stuck in the contract.
Well, you did find the cameras.
Right, I did realize that the cameras were there, and I did my research. I've done my research on every topic.
Okay, then I want you to share that research with me. You found the cameras. Do you have pictures of the cameras?
I did have pictures of the cameras. My phones are hacked. Then the pictures that I took of the cameras are gone.
Well, Heather sent us a clip that she claims is evidence that secret cameras were filming her in her apartment in Austin, Texas in 2018. Now, Heather did not send the original recording because she was concerned hackers may intercept her Wi-Fi. As you're about to see, Heather uses a transmission detector that makes a noise when it picks up on a frequency. The original clip was 53 seconds, and we edited it down to 25 seconds. Here you go.
This broadcasting from my ceiling fan.
Okay, and where did you get this detector?
On Amazon.
Okay, and it detects what?
I don't understand the technology really. It had the best reviews, and it's the one that the professionals use.
Well, when we come back, we're going to be joined by Heather's sister, Jennifer, who says she fears Heather will harm her and her family. And I'll let you respond to that when we come back. We'll be right back.
My dad did not rape my sister. It is all ludicrous, crazy delusions. I have a fear of my sister. Now, whether she can kill me or a member of my family, I would not put that past her.
And later, don't you come on here and make all of these allegations and not bring me one shred of proof and expect me to believe you.
My sister, Jennifer, is a two-faced enabler. My sister is also part of an attempt to defame me by making it sound like I made up the molestation. She wanted to defame me to justify my father's behavior because she was working for my father. My sister's also a victim of the patriarchy. Jennifer's protecting my father and her husband. I think it's sick.
Well, Heather is here today because she says she needs my help to halt an attack from an underground conspiracy hell-bent on exploiting her to the world. Now, Heather also believes her own family are part of a secret plan against her. Now, Heather's sister Jennifer says Heather's claims are just simply unsubstantiated for a very good reason. She says none of the alleged incidences ever happened. Take a look.
My sister, Heather, is delusional. My dad did not rape my sister. My husband is not selling it on the internet. We have received zero money from selling any video of my sister being raped. It absolutely has not happened. It is all ludicrous, crazy delusions. My sister, Heather, she spews venom on the internet. In 2016, I had a friend that was selling her house, and it was in the same neighborhood that I lived in. My sister writes on that post, this house was bought with illegal funds from an internet porn video. I immediately was just mortified, so I private messaged her, and I said, Heather, take that down. That is not my house. The first delusion that I remember was 20 plus years ago, when she believed that my husband had some sort of access to a secret data bank where a locksmith would come change the locks and give him a key to her house. There is no rationalizing with my sister. She is irrational. My sister does believe that there are cameras all the time watching her, that her phone is hacked, her computer is hacked. My sister has nothing. She doesn't have a relationship with any family member, no friends, no car, she has no job. There's no doubt that I have a fear of my sister. Now, whether she can kill me or a member of my family, I would not put that past her. I feel like I'm in a 20-plus year long episode of that show Snapped, and that the climax hasn't happened yet.
Has she ever shown any violence towards you or anyone in your family?
No, Heather's not shown any violence towards me. That just comes out just because she has made mention that she felt my husband wanted to kill her family, and there's just been all these delusions over all these many years, and now she lives in my community, and it's just nerve-wracking.
Do you have any desire to harm anyone?
No, it's almost laughable. That's defamation right there. You telling the world that you think that I will kill you.
Well, it's basically the same thing you said about Chris trying to get a key to your home to plant drugs in your home or kill your family.
I never said that Chris is trying to get a key to my home.
That's the locksmith story, Heather.
That the locksmith story does not have to do with Chris trying to get a key to my home. The locksmith story was all about why were you acting so weird with the locksmith there? Why did the locksmith, why were you like, hey, hey locksmith, it's me, it's Jennifer, it's Chris's wife. And the locksmith was like ignoring you.
Okay, can we stop talking about the locksmith? Because I don't give a damn.
Yeah, thank you.
I admit that when I was isolated and realizing that, you know, Dad wasn't going to pay me, and also I was having my cases stolen by this other attorney, I couldn't figure out why. I flipped out.
Are we still talking about the locksmith?
I guess so.
Can we move on?
Sure.
Yes.
Please.
Okay. My question is, you say your father raped you in 1988.
Mm-hmm.
That would be horrible, and one of the worst things can happen is for someone to be victimized like that and people not believe it. So I take this very seriously, and I want to pursue this. You said that he drugged you with cornflakes, took you back to a room, raped you, and I believe rape is about power, not sex. And you said, sure enough, he got back there and started saying, okay, now are women equal?
Right.
And all of that. And that this was all videoed
Right.
so he could sell it onto the dark web. Why would someone that's guilty of incestuous rape want to publicize that? That would be demeaning to you, but it would certainly be terrible for him, because
I don't think he meant to. I think he had the videotape. I think he wanted to keep it for his own pleasure or to show his friends, you know, look, or he couldn't win an argument with me as far as politics when I was growing up in the mid '80s. And that's one way that he won an argument, you know, so.
Yeah, that's certainly a
yeah.
tiebreaker.
Yeah.
The stress of all of this has taken its toll on Heather's father. He was admitted to the hospital last week. He's recovering at home now, but still very much wants to be a part of today's show. So he's going to join us live from his home after the break.
I did not rape my daughter, and I most certainly didn't videotape it. I do not acknowledge her as my daughter anymore. Why did she do that? Why me?
And later, do you believe that she was raped by her father?
I do not believe that, absolutely not.
Do you believe that she's the target of a worldwide conspiracy exploiting women?
No, sir, I absolutely do not believe any of these delusions.
I do believe there are hidden cameras a lot of places. I believe that women around the world are being secretly videoed. They're being filmed by greedy men and watched by perverted men. If I'm quiet, then this exploitation of cameras stays there. If I speak out about it, then I'm excommunicated from the society and I'm forced into prostitution because I spoke out about it.
Okay, how do you know this?
I mean, this is a movement that's already happened in South Korea. You know, the women in South Korea had a protest.
We're in LA.
Okay, well, do you think that American society is any less misogynist than any other society? That no.
I'm as open-minded as anybody I know. And listen, I deal with some people that are pretty unusual from time to time. So, you know, just about any time somebody says that somebody could have done something, you know, I wait to get all the facts before I make a decision about it. Right. So I'm not deciding that you're just full of it. No, let me finish.
Okay.
So show me some proof of one allegation that you've made.
I mean, I don't have a picture of the website.
Don't you come on here and make all of these allegations and not bring me one shred of proof and expect me to believe you.
Okay, that would have to be testimony. I mean, I have a text.
No. You say there's been image of you on the dark web for 30 years. Show me an image.
I don't have an image of that.
They're up for sale.
I have a text exchange that I sent your producer.
The text exchange is not proof. If your image has been on the internet naked for 30 years and it's for sale, show me a picture. Surely you bought one as evidence.
I don't have that. All I remember is the contract, and I would think that
Show
from
me
the
contract.
I don't have the contract either.
You don't have the contract,
why.
you don't have the pictures, you don't have pictures of the cameras.
No.
You don't have anything.
No,
But
I
you
don't.
expect me to say, oh, okay.
No, I don't expect you to say, oh, okay. I would expect that in a trial, we would be able to bring people in with testimony that would be able to corroborate me. And what I did give your producer is a text exchange with one of those people that I would subpoena for trial. So I would hope that you would have an open
here's
mind.
Heather's Facebook post. Will someone please contact Patrick Fairley on the Dr. Phil show if you know of what my dad did to me because, of course, he's denying it. I'm so tired.
Right.
You also gave us 10 different names to reach out to corroborate this story. We did not get a single message back from anyone who said they believe this happened. Not one person said, yeah, I believe that happened.
I mean,
Now,
I have
we have one person that gave a statement regarding a rape claim. I don't doubt for a moment how deeply Heather experienced these events. Whether they seem plausible or not, they can be true or experienced that way. But what's important is that she be taken seriously and that she gets the help she needs to put her life together. She's a talented, good woman.
I appreciate that. I do.
So where are these witnesses? You gave us 10 names.
I would have. They're not going to come voluntarily. I would have to subpoena them for the show.
I'm asking you. You gave us 10 names. Not one person corroborated one thing you said.
If they were your friends, they would want to help and help here on the Dr. Phil show.
Not necessarily. If they were bigger. I mean,
You're just not that important, Heather. You're not big in the world, and nobody is interested in watching your videos or keeping you down in the legal world. It's not.
It's big. It's bigger people than that, Jennifer. It's the corruption in New Orleans. It's like the mafia. It's the underground sex trade. It's scary. It's scary. Nobody wants to come up and say anything about it, and I understand that. They're scared. I mean, I'm scared.
All right. Did Heather's father really rape her at the age of 17? Well, I'm going to ask him next. Plus, Heather's niece wrote to me twice asking for help for her aunt. She'll also join us when we come back.
My aunt is extremely delusional. My aunt is seeking $1 million from my parents so that she does not expose them. I think she will do anything, go to any length to get a quick check.
And later,
You are not allowed to come up here and change your story. We are here to fix what's going on.
On Monday, my daughter started back at work. I posted about how proud I was of my daughter going back to work. On Tuesday, I noticed that my sister had checked into my daughter's place of work. My heart skipped a beat because I was worried about my daughter's safety. I called my daughter and I said, Amanda, Nana is at the courthouse.
Last week I did check in at the courthouse because I was helping a friend of mine with a donation of a car. It was nothing to do with Amanda. I think that this is a defamation attempt again to paint me as someone who wants to destroy them.
This has just been so stressful. I've just been in fear because my sister is crazy and I don't know what she's capable of.
well, Jennifer says that her sister Heather's behavior is so erratic and troubling, she not only fears for her life, but also for the life of her daughter, Amanda. Now, Heather has been making claims against some of her family members, including that she was raped 30 years ago by her own father, Glenn. Now, Glenn suffered several small strokes last week due to a blocked artery and spent a few days in the hospital. So let's hear what he has to say.
I did not rape my daughter, and I most certainly didn't videotape it. I did not sell the video on the dark web, whatever the dark web is. I am not behind or the mastermind of a global sex exploitation scheme. Neither I nor I and a friend tricked her into signing a contract to hide cameras so we could watch her every move. None of this is true. I had a law firm and Heather worked for me. Hiring Heather was a major mistake. She stole client files that would have paid my law firm over $500,000. When I confronted Heather about that, she pulled out a tarot card. The tarot card means that she had to steal the files from the office. It's far from outrageous. I don't not acknowledge her as my daughter anymore. I don't know what Heather has against me. Why me?
Well, Amanda is joining us, and Glenn is well enough to join us from home via Skype. Glenn, you've been listening to everything so far, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let me open the floor to you. Any comments you want to make about any conversation that we've been having so far, or anything that I've had to say to Heather so far?
How does a father respond to that? How does a father who was sitting down with Heather when she was 4 years old, showing her cards and teaching the alphabet, when she was 5, she was reading the newspaper because I tutored her. I just don't. Of course, I didn't rape her. I didn't do anything. She got in her mind.
Mm-hmm. And where do you think this is all coming from?
After she took all the files, she and I actually met in the office. I'm not sure how it was, but she came into the office, and I asked her. I wasn't going to hit her or yell at her. I just asked her, why did she do it? She pulled out a tarot card. The Wiccan told Heather that the card is telling her to gather all my files and run away with my files. Run away with my files. I'm laughing at this, and it destroyed my practice. It's crazy.
Do you remember the tarot card?
I remember tarot cards, yes, but they didn't instruct me to do anything.
Did you present a tarot card to your father?
No. The reason, never would I do that. The reason why I left my dad's firm is because he promised me 1/3 of the fees for the cases that I settled and brought to fruition. And then when I finally had a month where my fees would be $12,000, he said, "What contract are you talking about?" When it's really the industry standard.
By the way, that's not the industry standard. 30% would go to the firm, not to a lawyer within the firm.
33,
so
1/3 of the fees.
That's absolutely not the industry standard. But tell me your relationship with Heather.
My Nana is my mom's sister. That is how we are related. She's my aunt.
Mm-hmm. And have you had much contact with her in the last year or two?
The only contact I've had with her is when she writes ridiculous things online. If I feel that it's something that might actually harm me in my professional world, I would message her and say, "Could you please take that down? I really want to get you help."
Do you two have a cordial relationship otherwise?
No.
So that's...
No, sir.
Just never have?
Oh, we have in the past. We have in the past.
And when did it start to deteriorate?
When I was 16, my Nana made my Sweet 16 dress, which was absolutely beautiful. I don't want you to get upset. I'm not. Okay. It was so fantastic. And after then, I feel like when she went back to where she was living, it just was a very slow decline of delusions and things that came to her mind about me and my family. And since that was the last good memory that I have of my aunt and I.
Do you believe that she was raped by her father?
I do not believe that, absolutely not.
Do you believe that she's the target of a worldwide conspiracy exploiting women through secret cameras?
No, sir, I absolutely do not believe any of these delusions.
Well, Heather's brother-in-law, Chris, says he has done nothing but try to help Heather through her emotional difficulties and has been repaid with damaging allegations and abuse. He says his family has suffered enough and has some stern words for Heather next.
This was a newspaper article.
Really quick, please just listen to what you're saying.
I know, it sounds ludicrous.
You are brilliant. You are brilliant. Why are you believing these things that are coming to your mind? It's not true.
I worry about being kidnapped and sold because I know that there are men that would love to put me in a box underneath their bed as a sex slave. I'm scared. And when I'm scared, I get angry.
Well, Heather, her sister Jennifer, and Jennifer's daughter Amanda are a family of hardworking attorneys who have been torn apart by unsubstantiated claims that Heather's father raped her at the age of 17. Heather also claims that Jennifer's husband, Chris, sold the video of the rape on the dark web for $1 million.
No.
Now, Chris, who vehemently denies the allegations, is going to join us now via Skype. Have you gotten a hold of a tape of Heather being raped?
Absolutely not.
So if you don't have the tape, then I guess it follows that you haven't marketed it on the web.
Dr. Phil, I come from a law enforcement background. If there was anything to do with a rape or something involving a family member of mine, I'd be the first one to investigate it.
And have you had this discussion with Heather? Have you talked to her about this?
I've tried to on multiple occasions. It comes to nowhere. She accuses me and demands that I pay her money for the sale of these tapes.
No, that's not what happened at all.
Is what
You
happened,
do
Heather.
not sit up here and change your story now. I realize this is probably not the best
What was
forum
the demand?
because
What
it's
was
not
the demand
Facebook.
of payment?
It was pay for us to pay you, or you would file suit against us.
You are not allowed to come up here and change your story. We are here to fix what's going on.
Well, here's Heather's social media post concerning selling the house. Heather, my sister selling her house, no friends saying, what? Friend, why?
Right.
Heather, it was bought with the proceeds of Chris trafficking the molestation video. So
Yes.
you have accused him of
Right.
trafficking the molestation video.
Okay, what happened with the arson? I do not think that Chris trafficked any video. What happened with the, I know.
Did you read what you just wrote?
When I realized what happened when I was piecing together what happened with the arson, I was still figuring it out. But what I think happened was my father had porn on hard drives in his office. The arsonist took those hard drives and put them on a bus. Now, where the arsonist in order to get and this was in a newspaper article, that the arsonist broke onto the National Guard, Louisiana National Guard base at Camp Villeray, and broke into a car on the fire station lot. Twice he went to this car and broke into it. And in order to break into the vehicle,
Nana,
he had to get past the guard. This was a newspaper article.
Really quick. Please just listen to what you're saying.
I know, it sounds ludicrous.
You are brilliant. You are brilliant. Why are you believing these things that are coming to your mind? It's not true.
The newspaper article isn't true?
I want
That's
you to
not how the arson
please,
happened?
Please
All
listen.
your links
Please listen.
that you're trying to link up
You need to
our
realize.
family. It's not true.
Let me ask you a question here.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Next question here. Is it possible, because I said I would approach this with an open mind, is it possible that you are emotionally confused about some of these things? Because you believe things at one time, and believe me, I know that it seems real. I don't think you're an evil woman at all.
Thank you.
I don't, I really don't. But I do think that you have what might be referred to as a flight of ideas, where kind of one thing connects to another, to another, to another, to another, and then before you know, it's like a really convoluted story.
Oh, I admit, and the next thing I know, a neighbor of yours is selling their house, and it's really I understand that.
Not my home.
I understand.
Now
while I
you do,
was
after
in
we
this
corrected
flurry
your
of trying
story.
to figure
You have to
figure
check the
things
tax
out.
records to make sure it's not my home.
And Dr. Phil, can I make
This is
something
as
clear
crazy
for you,
as
Dr.
me
Phil?
checking into. This is as crazy as me checking into the courthouse to help an elderly friend with an act of donation.
Okay, I need you to stop talking.
Okay.
And I need you to stop talking because you're not making a lot of logical flow sense here. And when I say flight of ideas, there's really a meshing of things that maybe at best are tangentially associated. And by the time you get through talking them up, you've inferred a cause and effect relationship. I mean, there was a post put up on the internet recently on my Instagram page of me wearing a hat that said "bad romance" on it. And you actually said, I see Dr. Phil has a bad romance cap on. Does he already know? It's a crazy coincidence that he would post that picture wearing that cap featuring a pop song right before my appearance.
It is.
I have often thought the music and entertainment industry are involved in the conspiracy. I'm not saying Dr. Phil is directly involved, but to me, this image is a message that the mafia knows about my appearance on the show. And I want to tell you how much you stretch these things. That hat's about, what, Robin, 12 years old, 15 years old?
Yes.
Our oldest son, Jay, bought a really nice boat, and he named it Bad Romance because their little daughter, Avery, when she was like less than 1 year old and we were in Europe, the only thing she would go to sleep to is Lady Gaga singing Bad Romance. So you say the mafia knows. They would have had to known 10 years ago when he bought the boat. It has nothing to do with you. I'm sorry, you're just not that important.
I got you. I understand that.
I have a very clear vision of what's going on here, and I'm going to explain exactly what that is and exactly what I think needs to happen when we come back. Now, Heather, without interruption by you or anyone else, I just want to tell you what my thoughts are that I would like you to consider.
Okay.
And the first question I have is, what if? What if you're wrong and this is just some confusion on your part that is associated with stress and some of the trauma that comes along with life? Would you want to know that?
Yes.
Because she doesn't have to be here right now. She doesn't have to be here right now. Your father doesn't have to be coming on to national television with a rape allegation against him right now. Your brother-in-law doesn't have to be coming on national television. They're coming on here, I'm sure for more than one reason, but primary among them has got to be that they're concerned for you, despite the fact that you have been a royal pain in the ass. And there's such a thing as a delusional disorder, specifically delusional disorder persecutory type, where you tend to have delusions, but they're all with you being targeted with something. And if that's the case, then that needs to be determined and see if you can be given some help untangling that. I want to welcome Jeff Robbins and Dr. Megan Markham. Jeff Robbins is the owner of A Better Life Recovery and A Mission for Michael, and Dr. Megan Markham is the chief clinical psychologist at these facilities. Now, A Mission for Michael is, in my opinion, really one of the leaders in mental health treatment in the country. You guys can help her, right?
I think we can. You're obviously very smart. I'm an attorney too. You have a great opportunity to take the time to investigate the things that Dr. Phil has raised and find out to your satisfaction what's going on and what we can do to help.
Obviously, there's a lot of complex issues going on, so if you are willing to do some intensive psychotherapy in an environment with just a few other women, we'd certainly be happy to work with you.
My question to you is, are you worth it, and is your family worth it for you to call time out and focus on yourself, be selfish in your own behalf, and try to unravel this and see if you can see things clearly?
Absolutely.
You're willing to do that?
Yes.
All right.
Thank
I'll take you at your word. All right. Look, I want to thank all of my guests today. Special thanks to Dr. Megan Markham and Jeff Robbins from A Better Life Recovery and A Mission for Michael. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. Before we go, I have a question from Melissa on Facebook. She asked, when is it appropriate to remove a toxic family member from your life? Well, look, I'm all about unifying family, not fragmenting family. And I think if there's a way that you always want to try and heal those relationships, and don't ever make the mistake of confusing long suffering with constructive work. Don't think just because you've suffered a long time that gives you the right to quit. You need to ask yourself, what have I done to fix the situation before you remove a toxic member from your life? It's always worth the effort if you're willing to put it in. We'll see you next time.